Hi, today I want to talk about an issue that has touched me personally, and I'm actually living it. Um, about a year and a half ago, I was standing in the kitchen preparing the food for the dogs, and I looked at my dog Nebo, and I saw that Nebo was not looking at me. He didn't look at me. He was looking elsewhere, but just not at me. So actually, I got scared, and I tried to find out what was going on. I pretty quickly realized that he didn't see anything. So he was blind. So I took him to the vet immediately, and the vet did some tests and sent me to the specialist because he suspected that he might have some ocular hypertension. The specialist told me that no, he didn't have ocular hypertension, but that he could not tell me what the problem was. That for that we had to do some more tests. But that whatever it was, whether it was one thing or the other, in none of the cases anything could be done. So I decided not to make him suffer anymore. So I said to myself, okay, so the dog is blind, now we must see how we move forward. Nebo is going to turn 12, and I have had him since he was 3.5 months old. So actually I have told him to work at a distance, with signs and with a clear voice. Well, I thought now we just forget about the signs and we use the voice. But I quickly realized that this was not working. Only with the voice did not work, because Nebo actually felt very confused with the new situation. So then I thought that we had to communicate in a way like through touch. Now, what happens is that my dog is not really the tallest. So he's 35 centimeters tall, and it is actually quite a bit difficult to keep touching him, especially on the walk. So I invented a way of communication that we can use especially on the walks. So going for a walk at the beginning was really a horror. I used to say, be careful or careful, but he would just not listen, and he would just walk into things and stumble up and down road borders. So it was quite bad. So then I started to combine that be careful with a little impulse on the leash. This is Nebo, my blind dog, and we usually go for a walk with a harness. It is a harness that does not hinder him in the movement, and I'm going to show you what I mean by that. Here you see the shoulder is free, and there are some other harnesses that pass in front and obstruct the shoulder. And since Nebo is already limited by the side he doesn't have, so at least he wears a harness that doesn't limit him in any other way. Okay, so let me show you now how we do it when we go for a walk. Now, I need a leash. Okay, just a second. Let's see. When Nebo is walking, and this you will see in some videos that I have made during our walk, you will see how he reacts when we reach some obstacles, and you will hear me say Achtung, which means careful. But in the video you don't really see how I give the impulse with the leash. So this is why I want to show it here. Okay, let's see. So when we approach something in front of us, you see that he's completely blind. So when he's going to hit something that is coming up in front of him, I say careful, and I give a short impulse with the leash as well, only a short and smooth impulse, and then he realizes that something is happening. When there are some stairs that he needs to go up, or just a step that he needs to take up, I give 2 impulses upwards. Then he knows that that there is a step or some stairs are in front of him, and he automatically lifts his paw to see where the step is. When we are going down some stairs or a step down, I pull up and hold on. So that is, I don't give 2 impulses like when we are going up, but I only give 1 impulse and then I hold on. And this way I can hold him also when going down the stairs or a step, since he doesn't know how big the step is. Otherwise he might stumble down and fall. So he knows that nothing is going to happen to him and that he can trust me and be confident. Sometimes he has wanted to go down the stairs so quickly that if I wouldn't have had him on the leash, he would have fallen down the stairs. So this was a small introduction to our language that we use when we go for a walk. It is a bit different in the garden. I go into the garden with him on the leash, since we have stairs that lead into the garden, and when I have treats in my pocket, he gets very nervous and he would fall down the stairs otherwise. Once in the garden, we do our tricks and games, and that I can show you in another video how we do that. But what the difference is in our communication in the garden is that I have added the word stop. Nebo already knew this word from when we worked at a distance. It is actually very important to be able to stop a dog from a distance. You never know what can happen, and then you must be able to say stop and stop the dog. In the garden, he walks off leash and sniffs around. He loves sniffing around. He sniffs a lot more since he became blind. And we used to do sniff games, and we still do. And actually sniffing is very, very important for a dog, and you must let him sniff. Many times I see people that are in a hurry and they drag around their dog, they don't let the dog sniff, but it really is very important for the animal to be able to do so. So Nebo orients himself much more with the nose since he became blind than before, but of course he doesn't see, and he needs some eyes that in this case are mine. I show him where he has to go in the garden, and I use the word stop to tell him when he cannot go any further and he needs to turn around and come back. But this you will all see in the videos. I think it is easier to see things, but it's good first to know what you're going to see in order to look for it. So, enjoy the videos.
Okay, gut. Also ich wünsche euch jetzt viel Spaß. Achtung. Achtung. Achtung, Nebel. Achtung, Nebel, Achtung, Druck, Druck, Nebel, Nebel. Achtung, Nebel, Achtung, Achtung. 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 Achtung, Nebel. Nebel. Achtung. 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 Achtung.
Achtung, steif. Achtung. Achtung, Nebel. Achtung, stop, stop, keren, keren, Nebel, keren. Stop, stop, wenn. Wenn. Meine Bube. Alle wenn. Ja, we gaan oefenen. Kom. Wenn. Langsam. Wenn. Komm, jetzt. Jetzt, jetzt. Ja. Nochmal eine. Nochmal eine. Nochmal eine. Komm. Yep. Achtung.
So, ich hoffe, die Videos haben euch gefallen.
I hope you liked the videos and I have been able to give you some ideas. It's not the end of the world if the dog goes blind, but there are some things that must be considered in order to give him a good quality of life. And not only outdoors, but also indoors. Indoor, I have adapted my apartment, and you'll see some pictures. So, for example, if the dog can hit himself with the legs of the table and the chairs, you can wrap them. I have used my yoga mat for that. If you live in an apartment, you also need to take into account the stairs. Take care that the dog doesn't exit the apartment when you open the door. Since the dog is blind, he cannot see the stairs and he might fall them down. If the dog sees them, then there is no problem. But if the dog is blind and is the same as my Nebo, well, then he might be as crazy. Nebo was thinking that he was able to do everything, like when he was seeing, and he ran into walls and furniture. Well, then in such a case, you need to be very careful. I took the time to walk him through the apartment to show him where everything was. And another thing you need to think about is the floor. I, for example, have small mats, and if I change them or if I remove them, Nebo becomes very insecure. He also orients himself by what the floor feels like. So when I pass the vacuum cleaner or scrub the floor, I need to put him in one place and tell him to wait and stay until I have finished and put back the mats the same way they were before. Only then can I tell him to walk around again. There are many small details which you need to think about. I might have forgotten some, and if so, and if they're important, I might do another video. So if you have any questions, you can write them down in the comments and I will try to answer them. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel and click on the bells so that you're informed when I upload another video. I wish you a wonderful time with your animal companion. Whether they see or don't, it doesn't matter. They see with their heart. Enjoy the time together. Thank you.